The BFG ran to the cave entrance and quickly rolled the stone back into place.
"Sophie!" he whispered. "Sophie! Where is you, Sophie?"
Sophie emerged from under the hem of the black cloak. "I'm here," she said. The BFG picked her up and held her tenderly in the palm of his hand.
"Oh, I is so happy to be finding you all in one lump."
"I was in his mouth," Sophie said.
"You was what?"
Sophie told him what had happened.
"You is all covered in snozcumber and giant spit,"
he set about cleaning her up as best he could.
"I is hating those other giants more than ever now. You know what I should like?"
"What?"
"I should like to find a way of disappearing them. Every single one."
"I'd be glad to help you. Let me see if I can think up a way of doing it." By now, Sophie was beginning to feel not only extremely hungry, but very thirsty as well. "Are you sure there's nothing else to eat around here except those disgusting smelly snozcumbers?" she asked.
Not even a fizzwinkle."
"In that case, may I please have a little water?"
"Water?"
said the BFG, frowning mightily.
"What is water?"
"We drink it." "What do you drink?"
"Frobskull. All giants is drinking frobskull."
"Is it as nasty as your snozcumbers?"
"Nasty? Never is it nasty. Frobskull is sweet and jumbly."
The BFG got up from his chair and went to a huge cupboard. He opened it and took out a glass bottle that must have been 6 feet tall. The liquid inside it was pale green, and the bottle was half full.
"Here is frobskull, delumptuous, fizzy frobskull."
He gave it a shake, and the green stuff began to fizz like mad. "But look! It's fizzing the wrong way!" Sophie cried, and indeed it was. The bubbles, instead of travelling upwards and bursting on the surface, were shooting downwards and bursting at the bottom.
"What on earth did you mean in the wrong way?" asked the BFG.
"In our fizzy drinks, the bubbles always go up and burst at the top."
"Upwards is the wrong way?" cried the BFG. "You mustn't ever be having bubbles going upwards. That's the most flush-bunking rubbish I ever is hearing. It is a flush-bunking and a scrotty mistake to let the bubbles go upwards."
"Why shouldn't the bubbles go upward?"
"I will explain, but tell me first what name is you calling your frobskull by?"
"One is Coke, another is Pepsi. There are lots of them."
"And the bubbles is all going up?"
"They all go up."
"A catastrophe!"
"Will you please tell me why?"
"If you will listen carefully, I will try to explain," said the BFG. "When you is drinking this cokey drink of yours, it is going straight down to your tummy, is that right? Or is it left?"
"It's right," Sophie said.
"And the bubbles is going also into your tummy, right or left?"
"Right again."
"And the bubbles is fizzing upwards?"
"Of course."
"Which means that they will all come swish-whiffling up your throat and out of your mouth and make a foulsome, belchy burp."
"That is often true, but it's sort of fun."
"Burping is filthsome. Us giants is never doing it."
"But with your drink, what was it you called it?"
"Frobskull," said the BFG.
"With frobskull, the bubbles in your tummy will be going downwards, and that could have a far nastier result."
"Why nasty?"
"Because," Sophie said, blushing a little, "if they go down instead of up, they'll be coming out somewhere else with an even louder and ruder noise."
A whiz-popper," cried the BFG, beaming at her. Us giants is making whiz-poppers all the time. Whiz-popping is a sign of happiness. You surely is not telling me that a little whiz-popping is forbidden among human beings?
It is considered extremely rude, Sophie said.
But you is whiz-popping, is you not? Now and again? Asked the BFG.
Oh, everyone is whiz-popping, if that's what you call it, Sophie said. Kings and queens are whiz-popping. Presidents are whiz-popping. But where I come from, it is not polite to talk about it.
Redunculous! We is now having a swiggle of this delicious frobscottle, and you will see the happy result.
The BFG shook the bottle vigorously. The pale green stuff fizzed and bubbled. He removed the cork and took a tremendous, gurgling swig.
It's glummy, he cried. I love it.
For a few moments the big friendly giant stood quite still, and a look of absolute ecstasy began to spread over his long, wrinkly face. Then, suddenly, the heavens opened, and he let fly with a series of the loudest and rudest noises Sophie had ever heard in her life. But most astonishing of all, the force of the explosions actually lifted the enormous giant clear off his feet, like a rocket.
Whoopee! He cried when he came down to earth again. Now that is whiz-popping for you.
Sophie burst out laughing. She couldn't help it.
Have some yourself,
cried the BFG, tipping the neck of the enormous bottle towards her. Sophie opened her mouth, and very gently the BFG tipped the bottle forward and poured some of the fabulous frobscottle down her throat. And, oh gosh, how delicious it was! It was sweet and refreshing. It tasted of vanilla and cream, with just the faintest trace of raspberries on the edge of the flavour. It's lovely, she cried.
Just wait.
Sophie could feel the bubbles travelling lower and lower down her tummy, and then suddenly, inevitably, the explosion came. The trumpet sounded, and she too made the walls of the cavern ring with the sound of music and thunder.
"Bravo!" shouted the BFG, waving the bottle. "Let's have some more!"